When organizing a manhunt, always make sure you stay on the right end of the 50 caliber. This is Turkey Shoot, or Escape 2000, on Stinker Madness.
Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. I'm your host, Justin. This is the podcast about bad movie lovers. About bad lovers?
Bad lovers in
bad
movies.
Lovers in movies.
They had that in this movie that we just watched.
Yes,
Those were bad lovers.
They fell in love on a shitty bus ride to the shitty prison.
And a bullshit trip to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
I've got Jackie and I've got Sam here as well with me, as always. Just got done viewing the film Turkey Shoot. What was the English title? Did we?
Thatcher's Blood Camp.
Thatcher's Blood Camp. So if you know it by that name, Australian movie, considered Ozploitation, directed by Brian Trenchard-Smith, from such fame as Dead End Drive-In, which is a real big deal in Australia. I know a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah.
The Quest is the movie that I was surprised when I just looked at his filmography, because that was a real freaking big deal when I was a kid. I loved that movie. Jackie, let me discuss The Quest briefly with you and see if you remember it.
Okay.
This kid hears about this monster, like a Loch Ness monster that lives in this swamp behind his house someplace, and he goes and explores for it, and then it turns out it's just a backhoe, and like the whole thing was just a big myth, like this backhoe arm that's got like moss and shit growing over it, and he thinks that, he realizes that it's not a monster, and then he faces his own fears. You don't remember that?
No.
Oh man,
I remember that. It was like around the same time that Goonies. It was like a Goonies clone, basically.
The Explorers, Flight of the Navigator,
Yeah.
all those
And it was
coming
called
of age.
Quest?
The Quest.
The Quest, yeah.
Not starring JCVD.
I don't know. I mean, I'd never heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that was a big deal. Brian
Also,
Trenchard-Smith.
The Man from Hong Kong.
Oh yeah, or Dragonflies as it was called in
yes,
Australia.
Dragonflies.
Yeah, great film. Turkey Shoot. The Do Not Hunt a Man movie. You will. It ends poorly for the guy who hunts a man every time.
The Deadliest Game. Is that the name of the short story again? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is
Yeah.
what it is. Similar, the same
How many times? This is only our second Deadliest Game.
in this podcast.
Yeah.
Deadly Prey being the other one.
We didn't do Hard Target for an episode, but I'm sure at one point that will.
Well,
Yeah.
Hard Target's a lot of fun.
to both of you, it worked out just fine for Wolfman and, Horsey Lady,
Jennifer.
And, they would have been just fine had they just stood with their marks and then went back onto camp and were like, okay, I killed my person and now I can go back to camp.
Yeah, Jackie brings up an interesting point because these guys fuck around a lot. They're playing grab ass in their Hunt a Man game, which you should probably not play grab ass. Like, Danton just kills people because he's an unstoppable killing machine, not because of the ineptitude of his opponents. These hunters are playing grab ass with them.
I think they're supposed to be super rich people.
Yeah, I think so.
And then the one guy is a member of the government.
He's Secretary Mallory.
Yeah, of what? Who knows?
Well, Australia, I don't know how
Yeah.
their system of government works, but I'm assuming Secretary is pretty high up. Like
Of
the Secretary of
something,
State
sure.
or
Of criminality,
Secretary of Mischievousness.
secretary of getting hard-ons for long-haired ladies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that there's also some confusion in the hunting. The rules were not clearly stated because Jennifer and the Secretary Mallory, think it's a weekend pussy hunt.
Yes, they do.
They're not there for the right reasons.
They're looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yes, they are.
So I'm going to burn this question because
Sure.
I'm sure that I'm going to look like a total dipshit, but who was the Playboy one? And who was that supposed to be in this movie? Wasn't there a Playmate in this movie somewhere?
No.
Oh,
That's a different film.
I thought
Like
that we
all
talked
of the
about.
other films.
No.
But who was the one that was on the possible timeline?
Time Machine hit list,
Yeah.
the gal with the dark hair, the lead.
Olivia Hussey?
Olivia Hussey, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was pretty.
She's pretty.
Oh,
She's not on the list, but she's like a target of opportunity because this is 82, she's 31. So 1975, if I'm already harvesting Terry Garr, say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If she was around, I'd probably target of opportunity, say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Here's
There
my
you go.
problem with Olivia Hussey being on your Time Machine hit list, and basically anybody else in this film. After we watched the film, which Jackie didn't get to take part of, we did watch the actor interviews about this film. And you know what? Fuck these people. These people seem like assholes, and apparently everything they said was that Olivia Hussey was the exact same way. Like, I don't want to be here. There's dirt and bugs.
She said,
Fuck you.
sounded like she was actually afraid for her life. Like,
Yeah.
she was really worried that a crocodile was going to jump out of a tree and bite her head off before the spiders could kill her. It was, yeah.
Queensland, Australia.
Like, she looked like she was, from the sounds of it, she was shell-shocked the entire time.
Isn't Queensland the one that's just north of the territory that Sydney's in? Like, it's pretty developed. Perth is in Queensland, I believe. Or, no, Perth's on the other side of the country.
I have no idea of the Australian geography is a mystery to me.
Queensland has one of the largest cities in Australia in it. And I'm not saying that all of Queensland is, like, super developed, but it's not exactly the outback. I mean, there's not fucking Donk and Croc Dundee out there fucking looking for shenanigans, and some aborigine guy peeks his head out of the woods and then chops a fucking snake out of the tree that was just about to eat you. It's fucking Queensland, lady.
Oh, well, I know, but there's also even, like, you go into the outback or the jungle or whatever, it's not like a grocery store with shelves full of death.
Sure. No, it's not Omaha, but it's not exactly fucking North Vietnam either.
Whoa.
I kind of feel like now I should get a shirt that said, I survived Omaha. I went to Omaha like 2 years ago, and I did not die.
I didn't die.
I mean,
I've
I
never been
made
there.
it back.
You're crazy.
I know.
I would
and
never go there.
They had a whole store there that was dedicated to grilled cheese sandwiches.
I'm straight going.
Yeah.
I'm straight going.
That was like the best part about that whole town. It was like, what? A grilled cheese sandwich shop?
No wonder Olivia Hussey didn't want to leave it and go to Queensland.
Go
They
to
got
Queen-
grilled
yeah.
cheese sandwich stores.
I think it's also a sort of symptom of all these films that were made on that 10B tax incentive that they would ship out for overseas stars. They had to have been lied to. It seems like everyone was lied to by the producers, just to get them in on the project,
Right.
and then they're there doing something that is markedly different than what they thought they were
Not
getting
what they
into.
were expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which at the same time, if you're an actor, it is the money that you're actually after. Just
Correct.
do your fucking job.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else in the world, do your fucking job.
Yeah.
What? That's a
That
real
is
thing?
so not hard.
No.
Yeah.
No, this does not seem like that awful of a film to shoot. Like, I relate it to the Big Birdcage.
Yeah.
And those series, which seem a lot shittier to work on because the ladies in those films are much more exploited. They are crawling in mud all day long. Cold, wet, nasty mud all fucking day long, which, it's just mud, but dude, you're in that for 8 hours every day for 2 months. It sucks.
Yeah, like
It really fucking sucks. But this film didn't seem to have any of that.
Joe Zito.
Imagine the yeast infections in the mud film.
Yeah.
Yucky.
What were you going to say about Joe Zito?
Joe Zito almost killed the gal from American Ninja in Friday the 13th 4. Because he made her shoot in the lake all day.
Yeah.
She didn't actually gripe about it. She was going to just die of hypothermia until whoever plays Jason stepped in and was like, we're not shooting anymore. I'm going to kick the shit out of you if you kill this woman.
Yeah, like, I just don't know why this would be such a hard shoot. I mean, there's a whole beach scene. That seems probably like it'd be pretty nice. The only water scene really is the one with Rita. And that seems like a pretty clean pond. I mean, it's blue water, not brown grody stuff, and she doesn't come out with leeches all over, so,
No, when they jump in with the log, that water looks a little
that
murky.
water did look a little grody, yeah.
I mean, that one could have had a snake in it.
Leeches, probably.
Yeah, leeches
Yeah.
are usually the problem.
Fish that swim up your urethra.
That has
been debunked.
been totally debunked.
Doesn't happen.
It is complete bullshit.
Yeah, the crocodiles don't jump out of trees and kill you before the spiders do either.
Mm-hmm.
But it still doesn't make you not scared.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about this thing in heavy, heavy, heavy detail. The world is shitty, I guess. It's very civilly unrested.
It's the future, and there's a authority.
We don't know what their beef is, what people don't like about them.
Super strict social control.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, if you're a criminal, you're just fucked. They're trying to round up all the baddies and just throw their asses onto an island somewhere so that the rest of us can just live a nice, peaceful life with 3 clams.
Yeah.
This is not dystopia, it's Jackie's utopia.
Yeah, well, get those. I've been waiting for him to get the riffraff out. Build
Those
a wall and make the other country pay for it, right?
radio DJs and China shop owners, fuck them.
Fuck them. I like that. Yeah. I'll wait for that when we get to that part with why she ends up in jail.
Because she had nudie champagne glasses.
Did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first shot in her China store is the stems on her champagne glasses are all like naked ladies.
Yeah, they were like Greek statue
So it was a
ladies.
setup. It was entrapment.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it seems to me like she goes to the camp because a criminal tried to escape by way of her shop.
By going into her shop.
Yeah.
Who was immediately followed by the police.
And then he his eyes open. Like, was that supposed to be he was in on it? Like it's a sting. Was that a sting? I couldn't tell what the hell was going on there. Unclear.
Yeah. But, so 3 prisoners are being transported to Camp 47, which is like a, what do we call this? Is this a concentration camp or a slave camp?
It's a slave camp.
Labor camp.
Yeah, it's not pleasant, but I don't really know what the difference between a slave labor and concentration camp is, or if there even is one.
I don't know.
Well, technically, it's supposed to be a reprogramming camp. A chance for you to join society, get the skill set that you need, and then go back out into the world. It's not supposed to be a slave labor camp. It's not supposed to be a death camp, but it is. Because that's what they're using
Those
it for.
are the tools.
Right, because they never have an overcrowding problem there, and they even say that.
Yeah. That's a good pickup, Jackie. So there's 3 prisoners being taken there. Paul, Chris, and Rita. And as we mentioned, Chris was taken there for her China shop stuff. And then Paul is a DJ on Radio Freedom saying, "Fuck man, I gotta take this shit down, burn it all down, everybody."
He's a DJ? I thought he was just like some pirate radio voice.
I don't know what you call those guys. Radio guys?
Radio pirates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arg.
Yarg.
And then Rita is just there because she's chesty, I think. Like somebody said she's a whore.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we
She
get
claims
about her.
that she's not. And then Warden, not Sam Watterson, begs to differ because in the introduction scene, he's like, "And you?"
Yeah, you're.
And he kind of
do
lifts his
nicely.
eyebrow like, "Somebody doesn't get to you first. Trust me, I'm going to be nailing you in like 20 minutes."
Maybe 10.
And, my thought was, she was the only one who didn't get a flashback.
Yeah.
So she probably was.
I knew
whore.
she was going to die instantly because she didn't get a flashback. Like, she's not going to make it to the end of this film. She's too chesty, and she doesn't get a flashback. So she's lunch meat, hamburger. But, so they're taken to this camp. We've got it's tough. There's guys digging in the dirt. I don't know if they're farming
What
or
I can tell, what I can ascertain as to the 2 laborers in this camp is that the majority of the labor force stirs up dust at the dirt part in the middle, and then the higher-ups then sweep that dust off of the decks of the buildings.
back into the dirt pile.
All right,
so
it
it's
seems
just
to be an absolute reciprocating.
dirt recyculation.
Yeah, like you fill this wheelbarrow up with the dirt, and you go bring all the dirt over there. Once the dirt's all over there, you just bring it back. It's the same sort of thing, only you can't really tell because you're just sort of stirring up dust, and then like you're supposed to be like plowing or something, but you're not. You're just making the porch dusty so someone else can sweep it.
There is this tough guy. He's not really. I don't know if he's the head of the guards, but he seems like he's got fairly high up. His name is Red, and he is crazy with this whip.
Oh, that's American actor Gus Mercurio,
Yeah,
who is quite familiar and does a nice job in this movie.
yeah, he does do a nice job, and he has given them the business and like, "Hey, this is what's gonna happen here. Hey, you're gonna like working here because you don't have a choice."
Yeah,
I like your whip sound effects.
Yeah, well, I've been working on those.
just hang out in the bathroom and practice that.
We get a shot briefly that's going to come in later. There's an escapee. He crawls under the van that comes in. Oh, we should mention the van. But anyways, this escapee crawls under the van and then latches himself to the undercarriage that has some convenient bars for him to hang on.
Yeah.
But the van...
It's a milk wagon with a machine gun.
Yeah. This thing is underutilized. Like, you only get the transport of them coming in, and then it drives off, and you never see it again. It's like, dude, that thing was really dumb and awesome.
Yeah, it was really dumb and awesome, but because of the spray paint on it, I could just tell that it was like, that thing was holding itself together with like baling wire and twine, and that they got every second that they could get on screen out of that piece of shit before it finally broke.
It wasn't spray paint, it was colored glue.
Yeah. Like just...
Well, immediately what I thought is, all right, not only are you guys going to get some new prisoners, but you're also going to get some sweet, sweet ice cream cones. Like, it's like the Schwanzman track.
Schwanzman's here, yeah.
Yeah, and you were all kinds of excited, and then it was like, oh, fuck, it's just prisoners. Get on out of that flower. Are you gonna wilt in that truck there, Flower? Bring some ice cream with you, Flower.
And then on the other side of the ice cream sales, they're just mowing people down with the 50 cal that's on top of it.
Yeah. It's like how they get them out into the street, and if they chase the ice cream truck, they know that they're deviants, and then they just mow them down.
Huh.
Speaking of deviants, there's we're introduced to the societal rules of this camp a little bit here. The prisoners are called deviants,
Yes.
and the guards are eunuchs. Are all the guards eunuchs, or is that really just a thing, or is he just talking shit?
I think
this Paul guy when he's like, he's not going to be able to do anything to you. He doesn't even have any balls.
Well, it seems like when they go into like, why would you go in to rape her in the shower later if you don't have any reason to do that?
Well, I guess if you're a eunuch, does that mean you don't have balls, or does it mean you got nothing?
I thought the eunuchs were nothing. I don't know.
I think he's just talking shit.
I think he's just talking shit because they all seem to like Roger Ward's character later on the beach when he says that he doesn't have any balls, just like, oh yeah, like just kind of sloughs it off like, you keep telling yourself that, bud.
Yeah,
I'm
but
about to rape you.
Yeah,
oh yeah, he's gonna fuck him in the ass.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck him in the ass.
that was a great line.
Well, either way, we can infer that he's got dingers. They've all got dingers, apparently. Oh, because what's her noodle zips his wiener up in his zipper, so yeah, he's at least got a wiener. But so there's. If this is true that they don't have balls, then these guys are limited on purpose. Like they're controlled as well. These guards in this system of camp aren't really living it up per se, like this other group of people, the higher ups, the super higher ups, who are these rich people that Sam mentioned earlier that are in charge of everything.
Well, they could be also like that's like a benefit, like. Your employment at Club Rapey includes a free vasectomy so that you're not spreading your seed too much. Because that's what it is. It's like you're just keeping the guards from impregnating all of the women.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because there's some other weird societal rules at this camp, and I don't know if this is like something going on in the world that this place takes place in, but the prisoners' promiscuity, while not encouraged, is allowed, but you can't get pregnant. Pregnant babies will be aborted.
And the women will be castrated.
Yeah.
Or sterilized.
Yeah.
And
hot poker up the vag, I'm
That's
guessing.
not how they do it.
Well, it would work.
He's just playing by the rules of this movie.
Yeah,
Jackie.
you never know, dude. It seems to work pretty good along with this film. There's no STDs. You're going to be punished if you get a case of the herp. And none of that gay shit.
Yeah.
Don't have any of that either.
Which the whole sense of violation and everything in the movie anyway, like, wouldn't they figure it out who has the STDs on the way in?
Yeah.
They don't even really care. They're just like, okay, get out of the van.
Mm-hmm.
Now mix in.
And I think Dodge has got a case of the herp on his face the whole movie.
He's got a case of something.
He's got a
Ew.
grody face.
Yeah, that guy was hard to look at.
Yeah.
I just wanted to punch him in the face. I was so glad when he finally got killed.
Spoilers!
And he was in the shower scene. It's like he didn't take a shower. He just got naked and hung out with everybody.
Yeah. Looking at boobs and butts.
Yeah.
There's a guy, he runs the whole thing. His name is Thatcher. He has a group of cronies with him as well. That, as we mentioned, there's Senator Mallory, there's Jennifer, and then there's a guy named Tito, and I don't really know what Tito's game is.
Was his name Tito in the movie, or did Roger Ward call him Tito?
His name is Tito in the film.
Okay, so do you guys think that they purposely named the base prison camp guy Thatcher after Margaret Thatcher?
Yes, we do. We believe we established that earlier with the Thatcher's Blood Camp. The UK title is specifically Thatcher's Blood Camp in 1982. Can't imagine who was the gal.
Yeah.
Prime Minister.
I'm just thinking, dun dun dun.
She was the Prime Minister, right?
Yes.
And is that a entendre?
Entendre?
Yeah,
I don't know what
Thatcher.
it is. And what does everybody have
Simile.
against Margaret Thatcher anyway?
She did piss a lot of people off.
All right.
Yeah.
That lady
Not
had
enough
balls.
to get shot like Kennedy. Oh!
Yeah, that's true. Anyways.
Gotta throw in the JFK jokes whenever you can, right?
Good job.
So Thatcher calls all the other deviants out in the middle of the arena, and he's like, "This is how it's gonna go. You must be reformed and do what we say," and blah, 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 blah. The typical bad guy in charge speech. And so he gets Ritter to make an example out of this one poor lady. Stand there and sing us the pledge, or whatever the pledge is. And she's like, "I am a deviant and I suck, and I am here to figure my life out and do whatever the government tells me." She has to repeat it over and over again, while Ritter dances around her and fakes punches.
And he does like noises. You're like, chop, chop, oh,
And you know what the best part is? This prisoner is obviously a teenager.
She's very small.
Yeah, because she's
Small
like,
woman.
I'm going to obey my parents, the government, and the people at this camp.
Yep.
And so I'm thinking, oh, she's a teenager. Like, if you had a bastard teenager, how awesome would it be just to send them off to
To
these
death
fucking
camp?
camps?
To death camp.
Not awesome.
That's evil, Jackie.
Wow.
If your kid was a little bastard,
Oh,
you'd be like,
boy.
do you
No.
want to go
Cut
to...
ties, I guess.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Yeah, no.
Call a mulligan on your own reproduction.
I don't think I plan on having children with you anymore. That's awful. What an
saying.
awful thing to say.
I'm just saying, dude, it seems like the easy way out.
Hey,
Or if, like, they have, like, a death camp program where they just send you there for 2 weeks, and it's like a scared straight, but then Ritter just fucking freelanced all over her face and accidentally killed her.
Yeah.
You get a note in the mail like, oh, yeah, we fucked that up, so your kid's dead. If you say anything about it, we're going to send you to the same death camp. The government.
Right.
Signed.
The government.
The government. So she blows it. She screws up her speech. She gets, I guess, scared of Ritter's fake punches, and so she blows it. And he just starts slapping the shit out of her.
It was overwhelming how many times he slapped her in the face.
He slapped her in the face quite a bit, and then she falls to the ground, kicks her a bit, and I guess she's dead.
I guess she dies.
Yeah.
She wasn't dead yet at the end of the scene,
Yeah.
because Ritter even says so.
Right, but then in an interview, he says that that character dies.
And the cutback also shows her give one last breath,
Yeah.
and then some blood comes out,
Mhm.
like she died on screen.
Yeah,
And take that, Ben Kingsley.
yeah. So it's a nasty place, this one. But Paul, he's now being punished for his earlier eunuch critic, and he's stuck in this weight press thing, this elaborate torture device that involves him holding a heavy weight that is counterweighted with stones that can be taken off and on, so it gets
Yeah.
lighter and heavier. But Thatcher's gonna break him. Thatcher's like, you, sir, you're the one I'm gonna make a real example of. I will break you. And Paul's like, you're never gonna break me, you son of a bitch.
Worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Do you think the biggest dick move about this whole torture device thing would be, like, if you let go of it, right? It's supposedly, if you let go of the weight above your head, it's
Mhm.
going to come down and crush you and kill you, right?
Well, or just make you really uncomfortable.
Right. So what happens if he just lets go
Mhm.
and then it just keeps hanging there? Like, it only goes down like another 2 inches. And he's like, son of a bitch.
Son of a
And he's been
bitch.
standing there under it like the entire day holding it up like, oh God.
And then
oh God.
That's when the real torture happens, Jackie. The torture of the mind.
Okay.
Or if you do that and you figure it out, they just start poking you with a stick from outside of it. Like, all right, you figured out our game, and now I have to actually work at this torture. And know that I'm going to really poke at you good, because I'm pissed that you're making me do it.
Yep. And you're probably going to get a splinter
Yeah, yeah.
because these sticks have not been properly sharpened.
And we don't have tweezers at this camp.
I just think that'd be like the most awesome thing ever. Anyway, that's why I am not in charge of death camp.
Okay, good.
Back in the co-ed naked showers, there's some boobs and butts, as we mentioned. Rita is there.
The lone nudity in the film, I want to point out, because
Yeah.
one of the things that
Uh-huh.
that a lot of these websites talk about this movie, like, oh, it's just trash cinema. It's got all kinds of sex and all kinds of violence. It's got one shower scene.
Which I think is plot relevant.
2
Yeah.
shower scenes, sir. We do get 2 extra boobs
that's
later on.
Right, that'd be okay. 2 extra boobs.
Yeah. I think it's plot relevant, though.
It is.
Got to establish co-ed naked showers.
Yep.
That these people are treated, they have no rules of privacy, that this is crammed all together. You know, not to compare this film to anything, but, you know, that's how some of the concentration camps in World War II were. I
Yeah.
mean, you were just treated as like, you don't have any rights. You get a shower because we don't want to smell you. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, especially if you're on fish detail.
And that
Mhm.
everybody has to sleep on an air mattress, and you're going to get quite sticky.
Those aren't even air mattresses. Those are those little things that you blow up to laying in the pool.
Yeah, they are. They're little pool
They weren't
floaties.
even
Yeah.
like proper air mattresses. Like, hey, you guys want to go to the pool? Well, we're not. This is what you sleep on, you little bastards. And I hope your
Yeah.
ass sticks to it in the night and you get a heat rash.
well, back at the co-ed naked showers, Chesty McChesterton does not take her towel off and show us her boobs. So that's a bummer. So Rita finds Chris, who does not want to take a shower with these other people. Like, I just can't do it. I'm too embarrassed. What's Chris's deal, man? You're in a death camp, lady, and you can't take showers with other people. This is like the most joy you're gonna have the entire time.
Yeah. And she
Just
doesn't
get
like
in there
it.
and take that goddamn shower.
Can't do it.
No.
They'll see my buns.
Yep.
Maybe
Doesn't
she has
want
a really awful birthmark that looks like Hitler. And so she's like, I'm not getting in there. And everybody
They'll
will
know. They'll know I have Hitler on my hip.
It was probably right at the butt crack.
Hmm.
And then everybody be staring at her buns, just like you said. She'd be like, "Go see my buns."
So Rita's taken Chris a little under her wing. You know, you're gonna have to step up your game, and this sweet, innocent girl attitude is not gonna make you survive here. You got two choices: either die or be hard.
Actually, she seemed like she was giving a proper, you need to start pulling on as many wieners as you can speech.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I know that you're not a whore, but you will be soon. So here's some tips to help you survive.
Yeah, but that doesn't go anywhere. So I don't know what's up with that scene.
Well, it does pay off, I think, when she is attacked in the shower and
Yeah,
she's like,
Pulls on
okay,
wiener.
I gotta go with this. And then she zips it up. That had to hurt like hell.
Getting zipped in.
Yeah.
I suppose that's happened.
Have you guys, either one of you guys had a wiener
Not
zip in?
anything that like bled.
Justin?
I'm not going to be involved in this conversation.
Oh,
Oh no, he has! I'm gonna be looking for scars later.
we don't talk about 1986.
The incident. So, back at Thatcher's hut, his little sweet house, him and his crew, his cronies, are planning their turkey shoot, the Hunt a Man game. And they call it a turkey shoot. And each person, the rules are, you hunt a man, but you can only hunt the person you pick to hunt. So they have to, pick guys, like, I'm gonna pick Craig, and I'm gonna hunt Craig, nobody else shoot Craig, because he's mine. And then they go and
Do
hunt
that.
him.
Yeah.
You know what would have been better if they would have given them color-coordinated jumpsuits?
Yeah.
Because then you would have known that I have a green suit on, I'm supposed to shoot the green
I
dude.
shoot the green guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Color codes.
Their deviants are pulled back out into the center area, and they've brought the escapee back in. He's been captured, the poor man, and now it's time to punish him.
With a game of football.
The ball game.
The ball game.
Yeah. Which is two balls, spherical containers, tanks, tied to both of his ankles.
Yes.
So that they kick around.
And they're filled with gasoline.
Yeah.
Halfway.
I did not get this game at all. This seemed like the stupidest game on the planet.
Well, up until the end of it. Then
Is
it
there-
makes sense.
I know there's a loser. Is there a winner?
Well, everybody else.
the
No,
guys who
everybody
do
else
not have them.
doesn't lose.
Yeah. Well, no, the guards.
What are they like? I'm the winner. How do you win?
Well, they all got to light him on fire. You remember because they all put the lighters? It was like a race. That was the real game.
Mm-hmm.
Was they all had to go to an end of like a gasoline trail,
Mhm.
and everybody had a lighter, and I guess you keep track of who's was the one that actually got there first, maybe, to
You know,
light
and
him on fire and blow him up.
And at this point, as the prisoner, not to be an asshole, but like, they're tied to your feet.
Mhm.
Why in the fuck would you even bother? You'd be like, no, you're just going to light me on fire here. Let me just help you.
gonna
You just
sit-
start dousing yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sit Indian style, kick him around, just take your, do what you're gonna do.
Yeah. Here,
You
let me
are-
draw 6 lines in the sand for you.
You may take my life, but you'll never take my bride or my freedom.
I want you
Actually,
to know
took
that
my
you are
freedom.
technically bra burning at this point. Ha ha ha. Get it? Like, you know how women used to burn their bras in protest?
Just like burning other humans alive as punishment.
Okay, you know what? That was probably a pretty poor analogy.
Yeah, I don't think it works. So Chris finally decides to shower. It's nighttime and all the other inmates are sleeping. So she's like, I've got a little bit of privacy. I'll just sneak in here and not take my clothes off in the shower. What is this lady's problem?
Her clothes probably smell like fish.
At this point, I got no idea. And it's like she's warming up to it, because by the time they show up to rape her, she's got them halfway off.
Yeah,
It's
she's
like,
got her top off.
these are not going to be wearable.
No.
You want this to be dry.
Yes.
You're going to have to,
You have to sleep in that, dum-dum.
well, most everybody else was sleeping naked, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they
Well, her prude ass isn't going to sleep naked.
well, that's another thing that doesn't make sense, because of those goddamn floaties. You just can't sleep naked on it. It's rubber. You're
That
going to
would-
stick to it. Yeah, every
gonna
morning.
hurt.
It's
Yeah.
like, all right, bed check. And
Even
everybody.
despite the fact that that would be the loudest barracks in the history of prison camps, everybody would be covered head to toe in rashes as well. So, the guards come in, and Red's gonna give her the business with his wiener that works, apparently.
I guess.
Yeah. So she feels him up like the fake, oh, I'm into it, and then she pulls his wiener through his zipper and zips it up, and now
Yeah, but she ends up not getting raped, right? She zips him in, he screams, she runs out, and then there's Ripley.
Ritter.
Ripley, believe it or not.
Ellen Ripley.
So there's Ritter, and he's like, no, you can't rape this one. This one's spoken for.
Oh, yeah, Thatcher's like, or no, Mallory's like,
Mallory's,
that's mine.
yeah.
Don't touch her. Don't damage those goods.
That's my weekend pussy hunt. I got that one. And they're like, do you know what game we're playing? Because you brought a tranquilizer gun, and that was like strike one, and now you're audibly telling us that you're just here to bang ladies. I don't think you're at the right... He's at the wrong game.
Yeah, Camp Pussy Hunt is on the other island.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm not getting what you're laying down, dude. Like, you've been invited here to kill a man.
This is death hunt.
Yeah, death hunt, you're gonna...
Not rapist time.
Yeah, this is not like a date rape on a four-wheeler, because that's what you've got going on here. That is actually 6 miles west of here, and it is a more popular game.
I was date raped on a four-wheeler, and then I was date raped by the four-wheeler.
Oh, terrible.
Did you go through years of therapy, Justin?
No, I bought that four-wheeler. I love it. So, the next day, after this rape business, the very next shot we get is Thatcher and his crony sitting on a porch, and there's a fucking Wolfman sitting there drinking lemonade. Like, what the fuck? Wolfman?
Wolfman.
Where'd he come from?
Apparently they picked him up from a freak show.
Yeah, I said so.
Yeah.
I found him at a circus.
But he's an actual Wolfman. He's
Yes.
not a man with pubes glued to his face. He's a fucking werewolf.
He's at super strength.
Fangs.
He's not a werewolf because he doesn't change back. He's a wolfman.
He's a Wolfman. You are correct.
Yeah.
Half man, half wolf.
And he's got crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes.
Crazy eyes. The whole thing. Bloodlust. Eats people. At least
Yeah.
parts of people.
You know, I thought that dogs like to hump, so wouldn't Wolfman also have the rapins?
Yeah, but maybe he's a eunuch, and since he doesn't have any balls, he has less of an urge to hump, because if you take a dog's balls, they don't, like, hump near as much.
Or they just, like, turn him loose on the general pop after the hunt, and he just does all sorts of damage and rape however he so chooses.
He'll stop
Had
when
things
he's
worked
done.
out better for him.
Just legs covered in goo. Anyways, well, if they took his balls, I guess not so much. Maybe I don't understand how reproduction works. So, the deal is, they've chosen their prey. And of course, it's the people we've been introduced to, except for a couple guys that I haven't introduced. Doge and Griff are also going to be part of it. Griff later, he gets roped into it after a little fight with Doge. Dodge. Is it Doge or Dodge?
It's Dodge.
Okay.
Doge.
Well, he says Doge a couple times because he's Australian.
Australian, yeah.
Yeah, I'm Doge. But Chris, Rita, and Paul are also part of it, so there's your 5. They're going to be the hunted, and they're given a 3-hour head start. That's the only advantage they got. They don't got weapons or nothing. They got shoes. Dan didn't have fucking shoes or pants.
Danton was a lot tougher than these
Yeah.
5 people.
Yeah, he's Dan.
Dan wouldn't have taken the head start. He just would have stood there.
Yeah, I'm just going to come back here and kill all of you. Why do I need the head
I
start?
mean, I'll run out there,
Yeah.
and I'll kill some of you out there, but if you want to save some time, I'll just get started right now.
3 hours? I need 10 minutes to set
Yeah.
up all my fucking traps. Anyways, so they run out, and they're given... They got to go in 30-minute intervals, so they all can't team up. They got to run.
Which
out
makes the whole
differently.
3-hour head start even more dubious.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
Does it shake out?
Maximum of 3 hours, or at 3 hours they start sending them out? I don't get it.
Well, there's 5 of them, and every
Yeah.
30 minutes still wouldn't add up to 3 hours.
No, so they've got a maximum, or they're at 2.5 hours of just setting them loose.
Uh-huh.
And then they wait 3 hours after that?
Yeah. So somebody gets 5.5 hours?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
That's
doesn't
like
make any
half
sense.
the day already.
Yeah, no, you're going to get away at 5.5 hours.
Or will they? So, Chris goes first. She's the weakest, so they send her out first. Then Dodge. They take his glasses.
Without his glasses, yeah.
Bad move.
Dick
And he looks
move.
like a totally different dude without his glasses on.
Yeah, well, those are...
Those fake glasses were ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was like the bottom of bottles,
Mhm.
just kind of stuffed into glass eyeglass frames.
They might as well have given him some buck teeth and then told him to say only, "Hello, please."
Oh.
What? What?
Hello, please.
Yeah?
Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
That's not the same country as this movie was shot in. Thank you.
I don't understand your reference.
Huh. Yeah.
Are you
Moving
being
on.
racist right now?
Oh, God damn
no.
it. You're just stretching that out.
Damn it.
Anyways, and then Griff goes, and then Rita, and then finally Paul is last. So they all run, take off. There's lots of shots in this area in the middle of just getting run and chased and ran and running and
One of the easiest ways to chew up some screen time.
yeah,
People running,
Mhm.
other people supposedly following. Just
gonna get you.
keeping in mind that as long as you don't fuck up your angles and which way people are running, then you're going to be okay. You just gave yourself 15 minutes of free movie.
Yeah, okay. I want to get you a shot of you running across this field. Okay,
Yeah.
Take. It's all one take stuff because
Oh yeah.
except for Chesty, they probably made her do like 6 takes each.
Yeah.
But it hurts to run. I know.
Yeah, I have to use some of this for myself.
So eventually, Dodge gets caught by Tito and the Wolfman, who are in like a weird bulldozer.
It's like an Australian, like how everything is strange. They have like their own version of everything. It's like their version of a bobcat.
Yeah, but it's like future-esque. too.
Futuresque,
It's
yeah.
funky shape.
It's a little mini dozer,
Yeah.
four-wheel mini dozer with a machine gun on top of it.
Well, would you expect anything less from a man who has the front of his hair down to a distinct point?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's
On his
very
forehead.
menacing.
Yes.
Especially because his sidekick is a wolf man.
In a very fancy outfit, I might add. I mean, he had a vest.
Indeed.
He had a dress shirt on.
He's a butler wolf man. It's I've run along my butler, Wolfman. And then they're like, well, these two are on a weekend pussy hunt, so I'll allow it.
I've lost control of this death hunt.
Nobody read the handbook.
So Dodge goes down, and the Wolfman grabs him and kind of jostles him around a little bit, and then pulls his pinky toe off. Just pulls it right off.
Yeah.
First off, he breaks his shoe like it's like a sardine can.
Yeah.
Pop, and the shoe comes
Yeah.
off perfectly.
Toes are out.
Toes are out, and then he goes for the sardine.
Though, what's his face? Tito tells him, not the big one, that will hinder his speed. Take
Yeah.
the little one.
So they're playing like cat and mouse with him. Like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was going too fast before. They got to slow him down. Says the guy's in a fucking motor vehicle.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you can run away from a motorized vehicle for several minutes.
Yeah. So Thatcher's out there, and he sees Paul, and Thatcher's brought like a rifle with a heavy scope on it, so he can pretty much take shots from any place.
And he's in one of the strangest vehicles that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know what we call this thing.
It's like a little it's a little cargo transporter.
It's like a moon rover.
It's a weird thing.
It's like one of those snowcats.
I don't even know about that. It's just we have them here called Gators, but they don't look anything like that. It's just like a on-site, non-highway, small load transporter, and it is weird looking.
Or yeah, like something Dr. Evil would have in his volcano that
Yeah,
guys would just drive around looking. It's James Bond-esque.
it is.
It's just, what is that thing and what does it do? Anyways, so he sees Paul and he's like, no, too easy. So he starts like fucking with him as well and starts shooting the cave walls or the cliff walls and the water that Paul falls into. And Paul's like, fuck you, Thatcher!
This is, I'd like to point out, the worst part of the filmmaking, which I think was pretty, considering the 28-day shooting schedule, its crap story, and the whole thing.
Mhm.
The shooting was pretty strong in this, and they did a pretty good job stringing it together, but in this sequence, like, there's supposed to be two cliffs, and they just shoot it with the same cliff, and it's confusing, and you're like, oh, that was supposed to be two cliffs, and it's definitely...
And even if
the
it
same
was two cliffs, you just showed us him getting shot off of a cliff.
Yeah.
You'd only do it once.
You needed this one time.
Yeah. So he's just going to toy with him a little bit as well. Griff is hashing a plan. He's not out there to get chased. He's out there to be a hunter. So he sets his fake trail of his footprints and then climbs up in a tree that he's backtracked to. So whoever's following him is going to be like, hey, I'll find these footprints.
Yeah.
They lead this way. So he's up in a tree, and eventually Red stumbles upon his tracks and jumps down on top of him, to infer for a little while that
he's
he kills
dead.
him.
Yeah. Like, oh, this guy's victim one
Yeah.
of what should be a Danton-style Griff bloodbath.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for the bloodbath to happen, and not really anything
He
gruesome
gears
has happened already at this point in the film.
And I just want to say, I thought the blood in this film was quite exceptional.
It is pretty good.
Eventually.
Yeah, but he's in the next scene, he's like geared up properly, and he looks like he knows what he's doing, possible military training, something like, oh, this Griff, he's serious.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He's the guy.
But Rita eventually runs out and finds him, and she's like, I want to team up with you. Let's do this together. It'll improve our odds. And he's like, beat it, lady. I'm a one-man team of death, and I'm going to take down as many of these bastards as I can with me. That's the plan. Not to get out of here. I'm not even trying to escape. I'm going to fuck shit up.
I'm just making a score.
Yeah.
And on one side of it is a 1, and the other side of it is TBD. To be determined.
And
I like how you throw in what TBD means.
In case anyone was wondering about that acronym.
so Paul's still getting chased by Thatcher in his corpse car, and he causes a rock slide, so he's blocked Thatcher from chasing him a little bit, buys him some time.
And this is when Thatcher's like, oh, this guy means business.
Yeah.
That bastard. He dropped some rocks ineffectively.
Meanwhile, the Wolfman and Tito are still toying with Dodge, but then Dodge trips, and Tito's like, fuck it,
This is too stupid.
Yeah, just get this done.
We needed to leave this guy's glasses on.
So the Wolfman beats the shit out of Dodge.
Wrestling style, like pro wrestling.
This may be my favorite scene of the whole movie. It is not. It looks like a man beating up a fake dummy, because he's just tossing Dodge all over the place,
But
and
it's a
slamming
real
him into
man.
the ground. He's a real man getting
Yeah.
the shit kicked out of him.
If he wasn't slightly retarded before
Oh.
that scene, he definitely was afterwards.
He gives him a choke slam. He does the overhead.
The cradle drop, all of them. He's all of the moves.
All of these sweet wrestling moves, except for the big elbow.
No big elbow.
Yeah, and
No
then
power bomb.
and then he finishes him off with a backbreaker.
Yeah.
To death. Kills Dodge. Dodge is the first to go down. Which, who didn't see that coming?
And Tito just stands there and has a nice pipe.
Yeah.
He has a cigar.
Oh, I thought it was a pipe.
Nah, he has a cigar.
Either way, he's just kind of leaning on a tree smoking and watching it going, yeah, that's the stuff.
On the other side of the island is Jennifer on a horse with their crossbow, exploding arrows, and Griff, and they're having a shootout. Thatcher sees it, and he's like, don't you kill him, Jennifer! That's one's mine!
That was a very nice Skeletor you just did there.
It was.
So
What a
she,
monarch.
so she shoots him in the arms, like a bunch of times with arrows, and then the leg and like the shoulder. She's fucking this guy up pretty bad. He's incapacitated considerably.
Yeah, and you could tell that she's obviously some kind of hunting badass
Mhm.
because she shoots the blow-up arrow at him, jumps off the horse into the brush, and then she proceeds to shoot him
That was
a bunch of times.
That was some Batman shit right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like Houdini business. I was excited.
Yeah.
And I liked all of her crazy-ass eye makeup. I thought that was just fucking
was
fantastic.
She's the only capable person in this movie.
So
And her horse is pretty awesome, too.
Has a good horse, just goes through the water without giving a shit.
Yeah, and it's pretty. It's got some good coloring.
They call her Wildfire.
well, all this
On a
is
pony she
Ah,
named
goddamn,
Wildfire was busted down to prisoners.
okay.
In a
So
river he was lost.
okay. So while all this is going down this shootout, Thatcher is now in his car, and you just get shots at him driving around, and you're kind of like, "Where's he going?" But then all of a sudden, you find out he just smushes Griff, like runs him right over.
Who then blows blood out everywhere. And you would think, at this point, that he is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what you think.
Yeah. I'm still
You're
not
led to
sure he wasn't
believe.
Dead. Anyways, Mallory and Ritter are chasing Chris in the jungle. Secretary Mallory. And Chris finds this trench, and inside it are some heads. Dead heads. Dead guys.
Yeah, there's like, I don't know,
Heads.
where did they come from?
I don't know. Are they previous hunted?
Yeah.
That's like the Running Man scene where you find that last year's winners and they're in
Yeah.
this pit with a snake in his skull.
Yeah.
So they see her, and she runs away, and they stumble across Red, who's hung from the trees, hung up. He's still alive.
Yep. You know, which is like, well, wait, what the hell was Griff doing?
Why did he do that? But so they're trying to help him escape, and they cut the ropes that are holding him up by the ankles. But those ropes cause a booby trap of spiky tree branches that just go right up Red's bunghole.
That end up killing Red and Red alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Making it
dumb booby trap.
A very curious trap.
Like what?
Just kill him and save yourself.
or set a booby
17
trap that kills all of them.
Or how long did 17 and a half hours?
Yeah. Did you cut down those trees?
I guess I have to burn that question now is, what the hell was Griff thinking? So his plan, which seems, he starts out hot, looks like he's going to be some kind of a badass.
Uh-huh.
Then he knocks one guy out, puts on all his stuff, and then makes this elaborate trap to kill him.
Mhm.
goes out hunting the rest of the hunters, gets into one bad situation, and just starts spraying bullets everywhere.
Misses everybody.
He never had anything going to begin with.
Never.
He just made one. He fell ass backwards into that climb up the tree thing, I think.
He was a false badass.
Yeah.
He lied to our face.
Right to our face. Fuck you, Griff.
You are not a badass. You're a big bitch.
You're a big poopy pants.
And you're losing your hair, so take that.
Yeah.
So Rita has found a bath. A lake.
Is it a bath?
Weird.
It's like
weird.
It's a one lady splash party.
Yeah.
Because she's not even bathing. She's just like splashing her boobs and chin.
Because she's trying not to get anything into her eye makeup to make it run. So she's just kind of splashing the bottom of her face, which I thought was really weird.
I'm guessing that this was supposed to be a topless scene in the original script. And she was like, nah, I'm not doing it.
Even if she's naked, it's by the character like, oh yeah, time for a splash party.
Mm-hmm.
I know that if she's naked, for the viewer, it's like, oh hey.
Yeah, it's gratuitous.
Hello. But for the story, what the hell is she doing?
No, what is she doing? And with her clothes on, it makes even less sense because it's really not for us.
Less sense.
Yeah. Wait, there's not even... What is she doing? So, but the Jennifer, she finds her in her splash party and interrupts it. And she starts shooting exploding arrows at her.
Steering her with the exploding arrows.
Why would you steer her? I didn't get that.
I don't know, to a nicer place for the wrong activity for this sort of hunt.
Oh, okay. All right. Jennifer doesn't want to get wet, at least in the water.
I guess she wants an area that's sort of flat.
Yeah, okay. Paul runs into the wolf man, and they get in a little bit of a tussle, and Paul's pushed up against a tree, and Tito's like, hold him there! I'll get him! I'll kill him! But Paul grabs this branch of the stick and jabs it right into the eye of the wolf man. And the wolfman's like, ah! And then Paul runs away, but the wolfman continues staying in front of the tree while Tito just continues to drive
slowly
into the tree.
Slowly.
Chopping his friend in half.
His butler.
His wolfman butler.
Friend.
So I'm led to believe that they sharpened this dozer's axe thing in the front.
There's enough. I mean, I don't know. Who's to say if it's sharp? Who's to say it's not?
Because it wasn't going very fast. I mean, it might have crunched him.
Yeah, it crunched pretty good.
But I don't think it would have cut him in half unless they would have sharpened that thing.
Yeah, not as clean as this came out.
And I love that bottom half of his body fell after he got dozed.
Uh-huh.
And it had all the entrails and stuff and just kind of collapses down there.
They showed that sequence again in the featurette, and I looked at it a little bit harder. There's hardly anything in the legs of the pants.
Nothing.
So it's basically just pants with a few stakes in the top of it. It's great.
Yep.
Fucking great special effects.
Well, Wolfman's had it, and so Tito is like, fuck you! And pulls a bazooka out of nowhere and starts shooting at Paul, who's running away, but doesn't get him. It's awesome. That whole sequence is awesome.
Yeah, this was a really good part of the movie.
Just whipping the grenade launcher out oh, he's got one of those.
Hey!
Yeah,
hey!
What? Pretty sure that's against the rules. You only get one fucking weapon, dude. And you chose Wolfman.
He's got a arsenal party in that little bulldozer thing.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah, this guy's
he's a fucking cheater is what he is.
If only Griff had this stuff, he probably still wouldn't have done anything with it.
No, he would have done the wrong thing. He tried to make a road.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm making a road, and then they're going to come down it, and they're going to be like, oh, they're going to go down the road, and they're going to realize, shit, that's the wrong way.
That's a dead end.
That's a dead end. That's not where we're going. This is a fake road. God damn it. That Griff got us again with his bulldozer full of guns.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. No, Tito's the only guy that really knows what's he's the guest of the party that's I know what I'm doing here.
I'm out to kill these people.
Yeah.
So Chris has ran into a field of tall, stocky plants. They're big. It's like a cornfield. But it's not a cornfield.
Cane field, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. And so Ritter is gonna burn the fucking field down with her in it. That's how he's gonna
And the entire forest area, jungle, all of it.
Queensland.
Yeah.
And for one man, he manages to set quite the fire. He got it going in several different spots. I mean, this guy must have just been running around with a blowtorch and just starting this fire.
This is not his first time.
I mean,
he's obviously an excellent fire maker.
I don't know if you guys remember about 3 years ago when all of Australia burned to the fucking ground, the entire country. It's flammable.
Yeah.
The whole thing is flammable. You don't need a blowtorch. Just look at it wrong and it's going to burn up. But anyways.
Which is amazing, the firefighters they must have had on this film. Because they got that thing going.
Yeah.
That
no,
field
it was a big
was
pile.
on
Big
fire.
deal, yeah. So Chris runs right into Mallory, who is also in the field, and he's like, now I got ya. And so he tries to kiss her. I don't know why rapists always go for kissing, but
Put a
Paul,
little romance back in it.
I guess.
I think he may have been really under false assumptions. Like that she had been told about it, and it was like a date.
Oh. Okay, so we're gonna lead her to this romantic field,
Yeah.
and there's a nice clearing right in the middle of it where you guys can lay down a blanket and have a picnic and
Yeah.
then a little smoochy
It's
party.
sort of like one of those mystery dinner theaters.
Maybe it'll end with you
Yeah.
getting under the sweater over the bra type thing.
Yeah. Well, he does actually, in a previous thing, tells Ritter that he can have her once he's done. And Ritter looks at him like, you don't really know what game you're playing, do you?
So Paul runs in though, and he interrupts the whole thing, and he takes Mallory's dart gun and shoots him right in the fucking dick. Tranquilized balls.
You think that would be like weird?
What, to have tranquilized balls?
Yeah, like would it be like pleasurable?
I don't know. Just get past
numbed?
40.
What?
What?
Oh boy.
It's coming, Sam.
Yeah. You know what I'd like to know? What it'd be like to have not tranquilized balls? Huh?
Yeah, how about that?
'Cause I got
How about
those
that?
every day.
Seems like it happened about 20 years
Hey.
ago.
You have to wake up every morning and hit them with a ruler just to make sure they're still there.
So now Mallory can't move because his lower half is tranquilized, and so he gets burned up in the field.
Yep,
Nice.
burned to death. And Ritter doesn't ever try to save him
Mm.
either.
I don't think Ritter has a clue what's going on.
No, Ritter hears him. He
Yeah.
just chooses to ignore him, even though he's been offered a promotion to run this camp
Mm-hmm.
by this guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah.
die in the
Well,
jungle fire.
Ritter knows the rules of the game. That's the problem. It's a death hunt, not
Yeah.
a middle of the field smoochy under the sweater over the bra hunt. So he chases them. He's chasing us. So Jennifer finally catches Rita. She's got her in her. It's her time for under the sweater over the bra action, I guess. She's like,
It's time for arrow boob poking.
You're gonna. What does she say? She says,
I'm going to give you so much pleasure that you've never experienced before.
"Yeah, I'm gonna give you something you've never experienced before."
You're like you'll never feel this way or
yeah,
a way you've never felt, which is ultimately dead.
yeah, quite dead.
I feel dead.
Poking her in the boob with her arrow.
Doesn't make sense.
So
Then
Chris-
she goes to lick her face.
yeah. Bleh. So now Chris and Paul have found a stream that they are going to float down with the log, and Ritter's chasing after them, and they make it to the ocean. There's no way out. They're on an island. Fuck.
And this is where I go, oh, wait a second. You see one beach and all of a sudden you're on an island, dipshit?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
One beach. And that's a big island.
Well, Australia technically is an island.
I thought it was a continent.
It is, but it's an island continent.
Well, they're all islands at that point.
Yeah. Well, not Europe and Asia.
Yeah, and the geography is
Those
confusing.
are continents that are on their own island. One island, two continents.
Yeah. Neat. Well, either way, there is not enough evidence to declare distinctly that you are on an island.
No, there is not.
He doesn't know shit about fuck.
Yeah. Ritter catches them, and him and Paul fight, get in a big old fist fight, and almost get drowned. And Paul runs away. I don't know where Paul's going at this point.
He's just running away.
Ah!
He realizes, yep, that guy's tougher than me.
So Ritter's shooting at him with his pistol that he's got, and then
Chris shows up.
Chris grabs the machete, runs after him, and chops his fucking hands off.
This was another awesome special effect.
Yeah.
Like a ham bone
Mhm.
for hands, where his hands got cut off. It was awesome.
The robot finger was something else. I don't really know why they did it. I still what does it do for the movie? But it's like,
Cool.
oh, that's neat.
I liked Roger Ward here too, because he just keeps going. Ah! Ah!
Like 2 minutes of.
Ah!
I would probably scream my head off until I died too.
They're
Somebody
silly
chopped off
screams.
my hand.
Yeah.
It's silly.
It is. It was also revealed by Roger Ward in the featurette that she was actually going to try to chop his hands
Yeah, the
off
director
with a
yelled, "Cut."
machete.
Cut? What'd you say? No, not that kind. So we get a shot of Rita. She's dead. She's nude-ish, and she's got a blood everywhere and an arrow stuck through her mouth and out her neck.
And her leg has been broken because you could
Oh,
see
yeah.
her femur
Sure.
coming
That's
out of her thigh.
Tito finds Chris and Paul running away. He declares it's open season. I'm gonna fuck you guys up.
Which does he have You can't just do that.
Yeah.
Like,
He's got a fucking 50 cal on top of his tank.
I don't know, things are, I guess, once they go that poorly, I guess you can just do whatever.
Yeah, I've lost my wolf man.
Butler, friend.
Death to you guys. Fuck it. I mean, what's the punishment, really? I mean, what's going to happen if you kill somebody else's guy?
They're going to call you a dick face back at the camp.
You're not going to get invited to the weekend death hunt next weekend? Oh, great. Well, I heard about this other island that's got pussy hunt, so I'm going to go check that one out.
With the Wolfman next week.
Yeah. Well, he can't because Wolfman's...
I actually killed my Wolfman Butler. Fuck you guys, I'm going home.
So they churn around some rocks, and Chris is like, you run out that way. And so... Or Paul... I always mix these two up because she's got a man's name, but...
Chris and Paul.
Yeah. Paul's like, you run out that way. And so Chris is bait, and...
Again.
Tito gets up on the 50 cal on top of the dozer and starts blowing the shit out of the forest.
Which is kind of dick. Because, you know, Paul's supposed to be stopping this from happening.
Mm-hmm.
He has taken his fucking sweet time during this
boy,
scene.
taking it forever.
Really slow.
He's being sneaky when a man is firing a gun that is deafening.
It turned away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just walk right up there and chop him.
Yep.
But eventually he gets up there and he puts the machete right in the top of his head. Very Dawn of the Dead-esque.
It was very good, in fact. I liked it.
Yep.
It looked good. He kind of seemed peaceful as he died. Take that, Ben Kingsley.
So Thatcher finds Mallory and declares the hunt is over. Fuck this shit. Things are going poorly. But Jennifer tells him that she killed Rita, so something went right. But Paul and Chris take over the dozer, and now it's time for them to fuck up shit. They're going to go back to camp. So they start blowing the hell out of all the guards with the 50 cal, and she's on top looking uncomfortable shooting it.
I know they're blanks.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing that no one got killed the way she was holding onto that thing with one hand barely. Like, she did not want to be shooting it.
Ooh, it's loud!
She was not having a good time.
No. And there's shots of him with his little assault rifle where he didn't look comfortable shooting that thing
I wouldn't be comfortable with her holding that thing like that. I mean, it points straight down, it kills you.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They drive the dozer into the barracks and free the other prisoners, and
then it becomes a battle movie.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's a James Bond era, Sean Connery era shootout between different colored jumpsuits that all have guns. It looks just like the end of one of the first 5 James Bond movies.
Indeed. Somehow, because of all this explosions, the alert alarm has gone off at some base, someplace, the government's base, who's in charge of keeping these camps in order.
Yeah.
So they send like 18 different types of planes after this base.
They send a large amount of stock footage.
Yeah.
And it looked good.
Good. That's some good stock footage.
It was.
Tasty.
Some F4 Phantoms. There's a couple planes I didn't even know what they were, but they all meant business.
Yeah, I finally figured out where the wheels went on those jet plane things.
All up at the bottom of the...
Yeah, like they fold in.
Yeah.
Instead of back, they fold... Yeah,
so
anyway,
this movie taught you about the world.
I was amazed. I tell you, I was excited. Like, oh my God, I just learned something again from TV.
If only Jackie just had access to endless stock footage, archival footage of military planes taking off, she would have been able to skip this film.
Just sit there with popcorn, just watch stock footage. Which I tell you what, we got into some tapes when I was at university television, and it'll happen to you. You just start watching the stock footage, and then like 4 hours later, you're like, oh God, I've just been watching the stock footage for 4 hours.
So Chris blows the hell out of the comms, so nobody knows that these fucking jets are on their way to wipe out the whole the threat of the camp, because you can't let these camps get churned over to the prisoners, which I don't know why. What's going to happen if they do?
The deviants, Justin.
Well,
deviants.
Here's what's going to happen: is they're going to take over that island, so there's not going to be any camp anymore. But here's the problem: you blow up the camp, there's not going to be any camp anymore.
There's not a camp.
No matter what, you're now out of bombs.
Well.
Jet fuel. It's a waste of time and energy to blow up this goddamn camp if it's taken over. It's either going to be blown up and taken over and useless or not.
Order number 7, or contingency plan number 7, whichever they said in the movie, which is like, go blow up the camp because things have gotten out of control, is a bad plan.
Uh-huh.
Because one of the worst things that can happen is a mass escape, which would not help to blow up the camp if they've already escaped, which is actually what happened.
Where are they going to escape to? It's an island.
But by blowing up where they're not anymore, it doesn't serve a purpose.
No, this is a really dumb,
They've blown up
contingency.
Their own labor force.
Yeah. Jennifer springs out of nowhere in the comm room and attacks Chris.
And she tells Chris at this point, it's too late. I've already called in the attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which conflicts with the earlier scene where there's the alert.
Yeah. And I'm like, why did you call in the attack? Aren't you?
I
You're
think
going
she
to die.
just said they called in the attack or something.
Oh.
The attack had been called in.
Yeah.
Well, Chris grabs an arrow, one of the explosion arrows, and just fucking sticks it right in her head. Like, this isn't even a fight. Chris just grabs an arrow and jams it right into her brain.
Yeah, and then it explodes and her head falls off.
That was awesome because it looked like pieces of hair were still
Yeah.
stuck to the side of the wall.
Oh, yeah,
I was
no.
like, yeah.
That part was fucking rad.
She literally blew her head off.
Yeah.
Thatcher's still driving around trying to get back to camp, and all the shit's going down. He's just shots of him driving around. Are you gonna make it, bud? Long shootout, explosions everywhere, guards and deviants falling, and like the guards are trying to
Ford a river
ford
all
a
of a
river.
sudden.
Where are they?
Yeah. I would
But,
have liked if Thatcher would have been driving, like, when he's getting there, like, you think he's going there, and he, like, just pulls over at this, like, rest stop, and goes to the bathroom, and then gets back in, and the music starts,
Smokes a cigarette.
So I really had to go. I know it was 3 miles out of the way, but it's really peaceful in that bathroom.
Well, eventually Thatcher shows up, and he's at the very front lines with his other guards, and they're shooting out, and all of a sudden Paul finds a .50 caliber just sitting there and blows the fuck out of Thatcher.
Half the
Shoots
budget.
him into pieces.
It was awesome.
That was another fucking awesome special
Did
effects.
not see that coming.
It
was like raw hamburger meat everywhere.
Rambo 4-esque gratuity body nastiness.
Yeah.
It was great. The Jets are almost there. Oh, shit. So the Deviants fortunately retreat. They're like, let's get out of here. They run back into the hills. And then the guards are like, we've got the camp back. Hooray!
We've taken the camp.
No.
Does anybody know that alert has been sounded?
Hey, wait. What's that sound? I've always loved you, Craig.
Yeah.
Camp is destroyed. Blown to shit. We see Chris and Paul on top of a mountain. They laugh and hug, and that's the end of the film.
And then the end.
I would say they ride off to the end of the sunset, but they don't.
Nope. They're just on an island with nothing to eat other than each other.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah.
There is plenty of now cooked food down there at the
down
camp.
there.
Delicious.
You know, there's some
Barbecue.
snakes that they can eat, because you see at least one snake.
Yeah. Fish. They got that fish, too.
Fish, yeah.
Yeah, the end of this movie was kind of like, I'm at ideas, so we're just going to blow the fuck up
Well,
out of the camp and cutscene.
And then it gives you that, the revolution will be started by the Misfits quote.
Yeah, by H.G. Wells.
By H.G. Wells, like, so this is the beginning of the movie? Or the beginning of the whole story? No, they're just gonna, like, I guess...
Blue
They were gonna
Lagoon
make
now.
sequels.
Yeah, I've got questions about that as part, so we'll...
Okay, well, we'll start with you, Sam.
How do they get off the island?
Do they get off the island?
How would they get off the island?
Is it really an island?
Is it really an island?
They just have to go the other way to find town.
I think by the rules of deduction, it could be an island, it could not be an island, but by the story of the film, it's an island.
It's an island.
They could build a raft, trees,
Yeah.
probably some bamboo someplace, ropes to tie it together. Maybe like in that mini comic in The Watchmen, you just make a raft out of the dead bodies. Float away on the
Float away.
corpses of your enemies.
Until the sharks smell the blood in the water. and
Well,
then you're
that
just
happens in that
fucked.
comic book, too. Yeah.
And
Half of it-
Australia is known for having a lot of sharks.
It
but
is.
they never say this is Australia.
It's true. I don't know, man.
Well, there was no dingoes eating babies.
And this is a tie-in question. Does the government go back to, like, figure out if anything happens?
No.
Like,
See, here's what I think.
okay.
You got two options. One is to try to get off the island. The other is to say, fuck it. Countryside sucks, man. There's civil unrest and riots, and I'm just going to get arrested again. I'm just going to get arrested again. Stay there. Have a good time.
Yeah, that's what I think, is that the government, like, they're like, oh, we got it done.
George Bush stands up on a ship and says, mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. And then they make a boot-in-your-ass song about it, I
Mhm,
guess. And
mhm.
then, meanwhile, on the island, they're like, how are we going to get off this island? And one guy's like, you know, it's a 50-50 split on reasonably attractive men and women, and there's everything we need on this giant fucking island.
Yeah, they you go on a whole Swiss Family Robinson thing. You have somebody gets on an ostrich and another kid gets on a fucking pig, and they have a race on the beach. It's paradise.
It's paradise.
Are you
Mostly
fucking
it's
stupid?
just, people getting on each other's boners.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Except for Chris because I'm still not convinced that
She's going to be, little...
She's frigid.
her balls haven't dropped yet.
No, it'll be one of those things where, like, after 3 months of him being completely defeated, like, one night she finally just comes around and then gives him the weirdest, most uncomfortable sex ever. And he's like, I instantly regret my decision to save your life.
Yeah. Jackie?
So, out of all of the different techniques, right? The Wolfman,
Yeah.
the tranquilizer dart, the blow up, the various arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Who had the best kill technique?
I would say a wolfman and a dozer full of guns was the best initial plan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your vote. What do you think?
Well, God, give me a second here, because let's see here. Well, let's just break it down. Dodge gets just beat to shit by the Wolfman, so that's not really. The Wolfman is a weapon. Your dozer really didn't go into play until you killed your Wolfman with it. So the dozer sucks.
Well, I wasn't saying execution, but I guess we could vote either way. Like best initial plan or best execution. I don't know.
Just the one you like the most. Let's not dig too far into it. I liked the arrow idea.
So you're saying if you were going to hunt a man, which of these, like you get to select from a dozer with a Wolfman, you get
Full
to be
of guns.
Hawkeye, or you get to have a sniper rifle,
and a
or
weird truck.
You get to have a tranquilizer gun and a wiener full of blood.
And a sweaty assistant. I'm going for the dozer and the Wolfman.
Yeah, I'm taking the dozer and the Wolfman.
I'm going with the horse and the arrows.
That's not a bad pick.
No, but it's how many times do you get to have a Wolfman, period?
Yeah.
Like, fuck the dozer. I'll take the Wolfman, just the Wolfman.
It's a good horse, though. I mean, that's kind of a good sidekick. Whereas
You could ride the Wolfman.
being the Secretary Mallory, what a fucking dickhead.
No, that guy chose poorly.
Yeah.
And the sniper rifle and the snake car, that's
Yeah,
all right.
it's not bad, but it's just too conventional for me.
Yeah. How do they pick their prey? Do they choose weak prey so it's easier? Do they choose more challenging? Is there a reward? How does the death hunt go?
Well, I think they're just paying to do it, and it seemed like they had a scene where there was a selection process.
There was a selection process, but how do you make your choice?
They just get to pick who they want based on whether they think it's going to be hard, easy, sexy.
Wouldn't you just choose the easy the whole time?
I mean, two of them are confused about where they're at. I guess the one
person
lady's
who's going
not.
to least kill me. That's what I'm choosing.
Well,
I'm not choosing Griff. I'm not choosing Paul. Those were bad picks. Well, maybe I should choose Griff, but I wouldn't thought to choose Griff. He seemed badass.
The ones that are there to hunt don't pick tough prey.
Mm-hmm,
It's the damn warden that puts the two wild cards out there.
Yeah.
Because the lady picks the other lady
Mm-hmm.
because she wants to make sex to her and then kill her, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Secretary Mallory in the wrong party.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the crazy guy, take his glasses away, I'll hunt him with a bulldozer and a wolfman. That's not tough.
No, that is not tough.
There was the three that were there paying customers didn't, do themselves a disservice by getting the tough guy out there to hunt.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You're up next, Sam.
So, which I guess sort of answered the question already about the 3-month wait and then the weird, awkward, uncomfortable sex. The question is, do they do it?
Who?
Chris and Paul.
Well, yeah, you already asked that question. You have another question?
That's the end of my questions.
Okay. Jackie?
That's the end of my questions.
Court is not adjourned. I have a series of questions.
A series of questions.
How does one lady rape another lady?
With an arrow?
Yeah,
Duh.
everybody knows that.
So it's just torture? That's not rape. That's torture. How do you get your rocks off if you're a female and you rape another lady?
Well, apparently the whole idea of rape is more dominant than sexual, so I don't know.
Well, is it like you put the arrow to her head and like lick this pussy or I'm gonna jab you? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know.
Nobody has any physics that they can give me.
No, not really. I mean,
Yeah.
she can violate her with a bunch of objects. And
It's just molesting and torture.
Yeah, it's molesting and
not
torture.
really rape because you're not getting your...
I'm sure it sucks just as bad.
Well, yeah, it's not pleasant for the person who's having things do to it, but it's not technically rape.
I don't
get
know.
it. I don't know if I've ever seen in a movie a lady assaulting another lady.
Yeah, it's
in
weird.
such a manner.
And you didn't see it in this movie.
I know, yeah. So I have so many questions. How does that go? Is the death ball game fun if you're evil?
No.
I don't think so.
I think it would suck. I'd be like, dude, this one is dumb.
I wonder if you get gasoline on your shoe, and then you have to go around smelling like gas all day.
Or it catches on fire and you're the dickhead running around trying to put your foot out.
Yeah, no, this seems like a really dumb game. You know what? Like, I want the death wheel, the wheel of death. You put the guy on the wheel of death and everybody gets knives and you just throw knives at the guy.
No, so you have a wheel and you strap him to the wheel of death and you're going to spin him around like everybody's got knives and there's certain people that's got guns. It's got color codes. There's all of this, very elaborate, very ceremonial, like, oh, this is going to be, it's going to go one way or the other, and then you just push a button and he explodes.
Yes!
And then everybody's like, oh, you fucking dick, I had all these knives, I thought I was going to get to throw them, and then the guy's like, I fucking got you too.
Or it's like a dart board, and things happen based on what part of the board you hit. If you miss, something dumb happens to you, like somebody gives you a wedgie or something. And if you hit the guy in the leg, then, you maybe get points. And then eventually you're the guy that gets to hit the explosion button. Yeah.
Or you get the most points and you get the extra brownie at dinner.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
you get the
extra serving.
second helping of dessert.
You get to eat cereal out of the man's skull in the morning.
Ew.
My last question. Let's skip a couple. Is this exploitation?
How so, sir?
It's all over the box, all over the DVD. It's the IMDb calls it an Ozploitation film. All the reviewers call it Ozploitation and exploitation at its best. Fun exploitation. Where is
the violence and the gore.
exploitation? This is
It's
the least
minimal.
exploitive film
It's
considered that I've ever seen.
It's very minimal, but it's
Super minimal.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Exploitation films, by rule, need to exploit someone. Who's getting exploited except for that one actress who didn't want to take her cans out when it's like, lady, you've got huge boobs and you're in a B movie and you're blonde. That's your job. And she doesn't even get exploited. She keeps her top on. It's bullshit. This is not an exploitation film. It is just an Australian movie. That does not mean that it is Ozploitation. It's just an Australian film.
Yeah.
Maybe they think it's exploitation because they showed penis in the film.
There's a dog.
Barely.
There's penis in
Well,
the
there's
shower scene.
Okay,
Also
so is Boogie Nights exploitation? Just because you have dick does not make it exploitation. Is that person getting exploited? I don't want to show my penis. Well, you have to. No, that's not exploitive.
Well, there's also the idea that the exploitation films aren't necessarily exploitive of they're exploiting graphic sex and violence as a means to gather a small audience that's interested in that as well.
I've heard it define it that way, and I think that's a bullshit fucking genre.
That is a bullshit genre, but that's what they're classifying this one.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't think it fits into either category.
I think this one sort of pisses me off. I liked the movie a lot, but I just hate the way that this film is viewed. Like, a lot of people that haven't seen enough bad movies think that this is the craziest thing ever. And it's like,
this is fucking terrible.
you guys you haven't even seen shit if you think this is crazy. Like, this is supposed to be the trashiest film ever made.
No.
What have you seen? Like, honestly, if this is the hair-raisingest, trashiest film you've ever seen.
No,
I'm
don't
with
see
you.
it at all. I do not see it at all. Any of the fucking Russ Meyer movies.
Anything.
Anything, really.
Ah.
That Crazy Fox or whatever that we watched.
Mad Foxes.
Mad Foxes was way worse than this one.
Yeah.
Just anything there's like 7,000 hours of movies that are more hair-raising than this.
Yeah, or bad quality. There was a good movie buried in this film.
Yeah, they shot the hell out of this thing.
Yeah, and even the story's not completely stupid.
No.
The Deadliest Game, that's not a dumb story.
No, it's not.
And the special effects I thought were really good.
Makeup is good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good in this film, and it's got a reputation of being a really bad movie. I don't think this is a really bad movie at all. I like it for its bad movie qualities.
Yeah, it's got some real staples in there.
Yeah. But I almost was like, this is not that bad of a film.
I really liked it.
I really liked it too. It almost doesn't know how phones work, because they had the phones on the belts.
That was
and
awesome.
I was trying to figure out how those worked, to the point that I think that they don't know how phones work.
So, obviously, recommendations, you two are in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's not Hall of Fame. It's not anything. It's just a fun movie.
It's just a fun movie. I fully recommend it. I really like it.
Yeah, I really liked it a lot.
I thought it was great. Anybody that throws this thing under the bus, I've got two answers for them. My left and my right. Talk to these
Testicles.
That's what I was going to say.
Which are quite numb.
Yeah, can't feel shit from the waist down.
I'll buy you a ruler tomorrow.
All right, there's your movie. Next week, we'll find out what it is later this week. In the meantime, get to the chopper. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.